Section 63 of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, translated by Courtney Langdon. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Purgatorio, Canto 29. Terrestrial Paradise, the River Lethe, the mystic pageant of the Church.
Singing as an enamoured lady would, when once her words were ended, she went on,
Blessed are they whose sins are covered up.
and like the nymphs who used to go alone through woodland shades, desiring one to see, the other to avoid the sun, she then moved counter to the stream's course, going up along its bank, and I at even pace, matching her little steps with steps as small. Her paces were with mine not yet 100, when both the margins equally were bent in such a way that toward the east I faced. Nor had we yet as far again moved on, when round toward me the lady wholly turned, and said,
My brother, look and listen now.
And lo, so bright a lustre suddenly traversed the mighty wood in all directions, that I of lightning was compelled to think. But since this ceases as it comes, while that, the longer it endured, the brighter grew, within me I kept saying, What is this? And through the illumined air was running now a gentle melody. Hence righteous zeal made me reproach the hardihood of Eve, who, while both earth and heaven obedient were, the only woman, and but just created, could not endure to stay beneath a veil; neath which, if she had but devoutly kept, I should have tasted those unspeakable delights before, and for a longer time; while I, mid such first fruits of bliss eternal, was going all enrapt, and eager still for further joys, in front of us the air neath the green boughs became a blazing fire, and that sweet sound was now known as a song. O Virgin sacrosanct, if I have ever been hungry, cold, or sleepless for your sake, good reasons spur my claiming a reward. For me now Helicon must pour her streams, and with her choir Urania give me help to set in verse things difficult to think. A little further on, the lengthy space still intervening tween ourselves and them, showed falsely what appeared 7 trees of gold. But when I'd drawn so near to them, that now the common object which deceiveth sense, because of distance lost no attribute, the virtue which prepares discourse for reason perceived that they were candlesticks, and heard Hosanna in the voices of the song. Above, the fair array flamed far more brightly than in unclouded skies the midnight moon, when at the middle of her monthly course. Filled with astonishment, I turned around to my good Virgil, and he answered me with looks no less with wonder fraught. I then gazed back again at those exalted things, which toward us moved so slowly, that outrun they would have been by newly wedded brides. The lady chided me.
Why dost thou gaze so ardently at those bright lights alone, and dost not look at that which follows them?
I then saw people who were coming on, as if behind their leaders, clothed in white, and never was such whiteness here on earth. The water was resplendent on my left, and like a mirror, if I looked in it, reflected back my body's left to me. When I was on my bank so placed, that now only the river kept me at a distance, I checked my steps that I might better see, and I beheld the little flames advance, leaving the air behind them bright with colour, and look like strokes a painter's brush had drawn; so that, above, the air remained marked out by 7 long bands, all in the hues wherewith the sun his bow, and Delia makes her belt. These standards further to the rear extended than I could see. As far as I could judge, the outermost 10 paces were apart. There now were coming neath as fair a sky as I describe here 24 elders, 2 at a time, and crowned with fleurs-de-lis, and all of them were saying,
Blessed be thou 'mong Adam's daughters.
Ay, and blessed be throughout eternity thy beauty's charms.
after the flowers and other tender blooms in front of me upon the other bank had been set free from that elected folk, as in the sky star follows after star, so after these 4 living creatures came, each with a wreath of verdant foliage crowned. And each of them was feathered with 6 wings, their feathers full of eyes, and these were such as, were they living, Argus's eyes would be. I'll waste no more rhymes, reader, to describe their forms, for other spending so constrains me, that I in this one cannot be profuse. But read thou in Ezekiel, who depicts them, as from the sky's cold parts he saw them move, accompanied by wind, and clouds, and fire. And such as in his pages thou wilt find them, such were they here, except that, as to wings, John is with me, and disagrees with him. The space extending tween the four contained a triumph chariot moving on 2 wheels, which came along drawn by a griffon's neck. Both of his wings the latter stretched on high tween the mid-banner and the 3 and 3, so that by cleaving it he injured none. So high they rose that they were lost to sight. His members were of gold as far as bird he was, and white the others mixed with red. Not only Rome ne'er with so fair a car made Africanus or Augustus glad, but even the suns were poor compared with this. The suns, which, when it lost its way, was burned in answer to the suppliant earth's request, when Jupiter inscrutably was just. At its right wheel 3 ladies in a ring came dancing on, the first so red, that hardly would she be noticed if in fire she were, and such the second was, as if her flesh and very bones were made of emeralds. The third one looked like newly fallen snow, and now led by the white one they appeared, now by the red, and from the latter's song the others took their time, both slow and fast. Upon the left hand 4 in purple clothed were making glad, according to the gait of one of them with 3 eyes in her head. Behind the whole group I have here described, 2 old men I beheld, unlike in clothes, but like in mien, both dignified and grave. One showed himself a pupil of that great Hippocrates, whom for the animals she loves most dearly nature made. The other revealed the opposite intention with a sword so glittering and sharp, that though I stood on this side of the stream, it caused me fear. Then 4 I saw who were of humble mien, and back of all an aged, keen-faced man, advancing by himself, and lost in sleep. These 7 were robed in garments which resembled those of the primal company, though on their heads they wore not lily garlands, but were crowned with roses and with other crimson flowers. A distant sight of them had made one swear that all on fire they were above their brows. And when the chariot was abreast of me, thunder was heard, whereat those worthy people appeared to have advance forbidden them, and stopped there with the standards in their van.
End of Purgatorio, Canto 29.